Hi Libra, welcome to your season and happy birthday to you. This is going to be your reading for October. Thanks for tuning in. While I'm shuffling, please check in with your higher self. Connect in and ask your higher self to reach out and connect to my higher self so that we can create a feedback loop through time and space. If you take a moment to set up that dialogue, you'll find that this is very much a personal reading for you. So let's take a look at the energies available at this time for the Libra crew. King of Pentacles crossed by Three of Wands. The Moon reversed. Queen reversed. Queen of Wands reversed. Seven of Cups reversed and the Justice card coming out. That's your own energy. Temperance reversed. Star reversed. Six of Pentacles. Five of Cups reversed. Three of Swords. Eight of Swords, Ace of Pentacles reversed, and Four of Pentacles. Okay. There's the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck there in the upright. So, what's going on here? My first impressions with this reading actually is that you may have recently just arrived to a place where you feel empowered, and it may have been that you weren't feeling empowered for quite a while. Seeing you show up here at the center of your reading as the King of Pentacles, crossed by the Three of Wands. What this feels like to me is, as I said, you may be coming into a time and space now where you're feeling empowered for possibly the first time in quite a few months. And I feel with that energy that you're coming out of a time of confusion, of delusion, of uncertainty, of worry maybe, of I feel this energy of you having kind of gone along with things as they've been going along in a way, kind of just being agreeable, or maybe being persistent in your ability to, you know, kind of just be adaptable and tolerate circumstances and people. And just be kind of along for the ride in a kind of way. And somehow there's this energy here where some kind of shift has happened. It's like, almost like you just snapped into reality suddenly. And that energy is giving you this feeling of like, wait a second, what have I been agreeing to? Where am I? What have I done? Like, how did I get here? And there's this sensation of you kind of putting the brakes on, and like kind of changing your mind actually, but in a way of bringing yourself back into your own personal alignment, which is very, very beneficial here. Seeing you come out in your own reading in the outcome is really wonderful. It's really wonderful. So this is the potential, this is the present energy actually. This is the kind of, the heart of the reading is this King of Pentacles upright, crossed by the Three of Wands. I'll get to that in a second. And then, so these two cards I'm seeing as you're at this moment. The Justice card, it's a little overexposed. Let me just correct that. So you can see these cards a little bit better. How's that? Yeah. So, I feel like you coming out as Justice alongside of this King of Pentacles is giving me this feeling that you're feeling grounded, you're feeling centered, you're feeling balanced, coming into your month, your season of the annual solar cycle, with a kind of snapping to reality. And what's interesting, okay, so let's talk about this Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is about decision making or assessing, making goals. It's like a long-term visioning, futuristic sort of energy. And this being your crossing card, it's kind of the challenge for you at this moment is to feel into a little bit more of a long distance agenda for yourself. And maybe this is about re-establishing new goals or reviewing goals that may have been set previously, and deciding whether or not you're going to continue along with those goals, or redefining the landscape of what it is that you're working towards at this time. And that's more of what I feel actually, rather than it being about what decisions you made and what goals you made previously. I feel like coming out of this space of what may have been overwhelming or confusing or uncertain, with a lot of options, and maybe you kind of being adaptable and going along for the ride with a group of people, with other people. There is this feeling here with this specific snapshot of cards here that you are maybe seeing now, that there could be different possibilities for you and you want to channel your energy into some other goals. I'm hearing reassess. So there's a point here where you are grounded more in your own stability, in your own energy, with a clearer, what I feel with this as well is, with all these Pentacles cards in the reading, is that you may have a greater kind of understanding of your own emotional energy and how to channel it towards abundance, and that maybe you might have been a little bit led astray in the recent past, because you may have felt like the climb towards abundance and physical comfort and satisfaction was separate somehow from your emotional well-being. And what I feel seeing this King of Wands card come out in the center of the reading here is it's actually not about money, but it is in the sense that I feel with this card here is that you understand that your sense of self, your personal sense of self, your self-worth, your self-esteem, your confidence and your emotional satisfaction is very closely connected to that sense of financial, I'm hearing contract now, but I feel like there's something there in that quadrant. We'll get to that in a second. But the point I'm trying to make here is that I feel like you are realizing that in order to have a kind of clarity in your energy, like there's things that are falling away, and a lot of what that is, I sense, is some kind of delusional energy around what you felt like you had to pursue in order to gain money or gain attention or gain whatever it is you wanted to gain. But that may have been leaving you feeling rather confused and rather caught up in other people's agenda and other people's goals and other people's dreams. And here it's saying that you may be realizing that what you need to leave behind is all of that striving towards things that are kind of, you've come to realize, are not really your goals. Maybe you're seeing here that your own personal agenda is more important, and that's what's bringing you to this space of groundedness and centeredness and comfort and satisfaction and clarity with the Justice upright. So let's get to some of these other cards around the spread. I feel here you have Temperance and the Star both in reverse in these two lower quadrants of the reading. Now, I basically covered the whole reading in what I just described there with the kind of summary, but I'll go into each of the cards so you understand how I got there. This Temperance in reverse with this Four of Pentacles is telling me that, I'll do all these four together actually, this and the Star reversed with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. These four cards here are telling me that you may have realized that which you were striving towards or pursuing may not have been your own dream. Like you might have been kind of on and I kind of remember this from the last month's reading. There was a lot there about maybe you've been confused because you have been pursuing visions and dreams and goals that actually are not yours, and you might have got caught up in someone else's passions and someone else's excitement, and they might have brought you in on something that you felt was aligned with you, but now, given some time and space, you may be seeing that actually is not for you. And so that's what I feel this is speaking about here. It's like what you had maybe begun to nurture, what you may have begun planting seeds into, is now you may be seeing now that it was not your path to walk, and you may be walking away from a project or a person or a partnership. This could be a reading about your romantic relationship. It could just as easily be about your work, your creativity, but just take it as it fits for you. So you may be walking away from something that you had begun to pursue, that you may have even been pursuing and putting a lot of energy and effort into for quite some time. And now it says here that you may be seeing that might have been disingenuous to you, and that might have put you in a space of disharmony or even in a space of lack. And now you're choosing to perhaps consolidate and withdraw yourself from a circumstance or a group of people or a business or an employer or a partner, how it fits, right? You may be choosing to withdraw now and pull back a little bit and just consolidate your energy so that you can actually really see what resources you have available to you to work with from here out. So this is a good time to declutter, I would say, to clean house, to in every way, yeah, not just in your actual physical space, but in your emotional body, also in your computer and your devices. Like, this is a good time, I feel, for you to like actually see what it is that you need to keep and what it is that you need to delete or remove or give away or let go of in some way, to clear space, to remove the clutter, so that you can actually really see the resources that are valid and that are relevant and that are yours to work with from here out, as you are seeing and redefining your agenda for the next cycle, the next phase of life for you. So let's see what else is here in the spread. Kind of covered this area. Now, this Six of Pentacles with the Eight of Swords, both upright. I mentioned it briefly earlier. There could be some kind of contractual thing here that you may have walked into. It could be just simply an employment. You know, you may not actually have a physical contract, but you might have just been working with someone under a specific kind of hierarchical structure, or under a specific kind of, you know, agreement, whether spoken or legal. And this Eight of Swords here with this Six of Pentacles is telling me that you may be afraid that you actually signed up for something that you didn't really understand the full depth of, and you might be wanting to extract and withdraw yourself from that now. And that's as I said, what I'm seeing for this reading mostly is a clarity that you may have gained over a certain project or circumstance or relationship that you had been agreeable to. Now you may be seeing that it's actually not really what you want. And so it's here with these three other upper cards of the reading: Moon reversed, Three of Swords, and Five of Cups in reverse. This is telling me that there is a little bit of emotional fallout here, although I feel actually like, you know, this Three of Swords upright with this Five of Cups in reverse and the Moon reverse, it's actually, I don't necessarily see this as a kind of grieving energy, although it could be viewed as that with these three cards. Maybe for some of you there could be grieving here. You could be mourning the loss of your relationship. You could be mourning for your own self. You know, you could be mourning for what you failed to see before that you're seeing now. But that's not necessarily what you should do with this energy, right? This is more about the focus of your awareness ought to be on your presence and on your realization and on the activation of your awareness about that which is yours, and the removal or the letting go of that which is not yours. And if you maintain attachment, that's when you're going to feel this energy of grief and loss and sorrow and mourning. But what's actually here for you is a very incredible feeling of empowerment and strength and motivation and power and courage in realizing your centeredness and where your authority, where your power, where your divinity really lies, and what that means for you and where to channel it. So avoid feelings of attachment, avoid feelings of loss over what may have not worked out, because it wasn't yours actually to begin with. So this is just like in your imagination somehow, like this is a false memory, if you get my drift. So avoid feelings of limitation, of loss, of attachment, because that will keep you in this space of grieving and mourning and even self-pity, you know, with this Eight of Swords. Use the energy of this awareness, of this flash of insight and understanding about the reality of your situation to feel empowered in understanding that you have discovered the truth. You've woken up to the truth of your own making. So work with that and allow it to kind of move you forward here in ways that can be quite swift and defined towards that which is yours. Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, Priestess, Ten of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and Ace of Swords upright. Basically what I just said. Let the truth set you free. Let the truth set you free. Let the truth set you free. Let that which is not yours die and move on and pass over, and don't maintain attachments to this. Move forward with this graceful, elegant, dignified, empowered understanding of this utter clarity that you've just attained, through your revelation, through your realization, and move forward from this place. It's beautiful to see here the King and Queen of Pentacles coming upright in your reading, along with the Judgment. Like all these energies here, this Ace of Swords as well. Like this is very profound. This is very profound energy here. This is very profound. Let this moment empower you. Let this moment empower you, because that's really what this is. If you misappropriate the energy and the information that's being communicated through your circumstance now, you're going to miss the point, and you're going to spend time feeling sorry for yourself. You're going to spend time in regret, in remorse, in disappointment, in heartbreak, in loss. That's just your attachment. Strive to realize that and let go. Let go. Just let go. Just let go. It's more painful if you hold on. Just let go. Move on with this clarity and this understanding, this wisdom that's here. Let this truth set you free. Okay, Libra, that was very succinct. I'm going to leave that there for the general reading. I'm going to move forward now with the Voyager deck and shuffle again to give you a higher octave spread. And we're going to look at any influences, forces at play that may be operating from a karmic and spiritual place to help you understand why it is that you're in the situation that you're in, if that's necessary. Otherwise, we'll just ask for any counsel from your guides and your higher self as to how to best work with the energies available to you, or for any further information that may be required here to help you really work with what's on your desk at this time. So again, check in with your higher self and ask your higher self to connect with me, pass on any messages that you need, and send your energy over into the deck. Let's see what we can get for you from this higher octave spread. Four of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Child of Wands in reverse. That's the Page of Wands. Crossed by the Woman of Cups. Reversed. Ace of Wands. Five of Crystals. Hierophant reversed. Sage of Wands reversed. Seven of Crystals reversed. Fool reversed. Woman of Wands reversed. 10 of Wands reversed. Don't struggle here, Libra. That's what all these reversals feels like to me. You don't like what I just said and you're gripping. Don't do that. Man of Crystals reversed. It's the King of Swords. Tower reversed. Yeah, you're trying to dodge the bullet. Four of Worlds reversed. It's the same Pentacles, Four of Pentacles here. And the Ace of Crystals reversed. So, the crowning card of this reading is very telling. You have this Ace of Wands. It's like this very bright, clear. You had the Ace of Crystals in the previous reading. These two are very related. And yet here in the spread you have this Ace of Swords, the same card, that in reverse in the position of you, and it's paired with this Seven of Crystals in reverse. This is telling me that you really don't like what I just said, and your energy is contracting. You're contracting, and you're trying to grip onto what you have, what you have already realized from that which was just communicated, that you need to let go and dissolve your attachments, and you don't want to do that. But you're going to struggle a lot here if you continue to grip, if you continue to hold on, and if you continue to try to maintain that which has already begun to decay. Listen to me. Why do you make it hard for yourself? What else is here? Okay. I pretty much gave that reading. I pretty much have said everything that there is to say here about these cards, but let's see if I can get anything more. Where do I start? Yeah, the Five of Crystals at the foundation of the reading is telling me that you are in this spread. In the previous spread, it was clear, like you had a realization, you had an understanding about something, and that brought clarity. Now this reading is telling me that you're second guessing that, and it's creating an internal dialogue of confusion, of internal conflict, of questioning and doubting and fearing and more insecurity and more uncertainty. Yet you have this Ace of Wands here as the crowning card, saying that you have already received the illumination of understanding. You've already had that flash of insight. You already received the message. You already have that download of clarity, of wisdom, of truth. The truth that has already been revealed. That which you already know to be true. And yet you continue here with all these reversals. Fool reversed, Four of Worlds reversed, Ace of Crystals reversed, Seven of Swords reversed, Hierophant reversed, Sage of Wands reversed, 10 of Wands reversed, Woman of Wands reversed. Shall I continue? Tower reversed. You're avoiding what is already obvious and what has already begun. So, as I said, the decay has already begun, but you're trying to avoid that and put that off, and that is going to cause you to suffer. Ugh. Let it go, Libra. Move on. Tower reverse is saying that you're trying to avoid the disassemblage or the deconstruction of something that has already been, right? But it's already begun to decay. Like I said, you already understood that it was not for you, that it was actually inhibiting you, that it was limiting you, that it was restricting you in your path, in your way, in your flow. 10 of Wands reverse here is saying there is like a stuntedness to your growth. This card is called growth in this deck. 10 of Wands reverse. So here in this deck it's saying this: if you avoid what's going on here, if you avoid transmutation, if you avoid alchemizing, if you avoid transforming, if you avoid the synthesis of your experience, if you avoid and try to continue to move on stubbornly, you're avoiding growth. You're avoiding growth. You're not giving yourself the chance to actually heal. That you're avoiding healing. Your stubbornness is preventing you from having a growth spurt that you're so ready for. You're so ready for this. But somehow your insecurities and your doubts and your internal dialogue of fear and worry and stress is keeping you in a limited space. Your own worst enemy here. Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. 4 of Cups, called anger in this deck. 6 of Wands reversed. There's the star again reversed, and there's death. Alright. So these cards are telling me the same thing that I've already been saying. You may be holding back emotionally. You may be trying to limit yourself because you're afraid of what consequences there are from actually making this transition. But you need to understand that it is actually what you want. Maybe I'm being a little bit hard with you with the language and the energy I'm using. It's just frustrating to feel that energy of resistance that I can feel really strongly that you are totally resisting change here, even though it's exactly what you want. That's what the death and the star are saying here. Star in reverse. Star in reverse with death here upright is saying that this is actually everything that you have called into your life. The experience that you're having now is what you want. You want freedom, you want liberation, you want change, you want growth. And here it is being dished up to you and you're saying, no thanks, I like it here. The truth will set you free if you let it. Stop holding on. The change is already happening anyway. So work with the energy that's available to you. Otherwise you're just making your life more difficult than it needs to be. It's Tower reversed here. This is telling me that the change has already begun. You've invoked this. This is your magic. This is your magic, Libra. This is your magic. You've invoked this. Work with it. Stop struggling against your own authority, your own power. You've invoked all of this. Work with it. Stop fighting it. There's a new beginning here waiting for you. This Fool in reverse is saying that you're on the cusp of a new beginning, but you're like screeching as you're driving towards the goal of your dreams. You're pumping the brakes. Why? Avoidant. Stop avoiding. It's inevitable. I'm going to leave this reading there, Libra. I hope you found some things in there that you can work with. Please watch this again. I know that was a very intense download that I just gave there. I hope you find some inspiration and motivation in it. Come back to it again later in the month. Thank you for subscribing, for liking, sharing, and commenting. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you, and I'll see you in the next reading.